This is the Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Nguni. Every Christmas, the Fort Hall School of Government gives Christmas awards to our leaders. This Christmas, the Fort Hall Man of the Year is Winnie Odinga. This babe is tough as Gumu. Only two such men existed in Kenyan politics. The first one was Lucy Kibaki. She was Chuma. And we loved this show like a nonsense. The second one is Martha Karua. Her girl vibe is interstellar. It is out of space. With Wangari Maathai, she even possessed a 22-year-old Gen Z called Trufina Muthoni. This girl hugged a tree for 72 hours. At her age, she should have hugged a boy. But if she had hugged a boy for 72 hours, that would not be news. Our point. Dear Winnie Odinga, Baba gave you some horns, and he taught you how to charge. However, your horns are still green. You are a greenhorn politician. Your horns need to be dried up and hardened. But here's the good news. Raila hardened the horns of a bull called William Ruto. Now Ruto is president. Go to him to dry your greenhorns. Merry Christmas. You are the Fort Hall Man of the Year.
And now, the Mark Tour Award for the year. And the award goes to William Ruto. Dear Ruto, do you remember Mark Tour? He was the medicine man of politics. One day, Mzee Moi discovered that he was dishing out too much money in 1,000 shilling notes. Then Mark Tour advised him to use 50 shilling notes instead. When politicians went to see Mzee Moi, he would open a huge safe and ask them to take all the money they needed. Thinking they were collecting 1,000 shilling notes in bundles, they would collect 50 shillings instead. Mzee Moi would sit back and laugh to tears as he watched them fill their pockets with 50 bob notes. But Kikuyus were clever. They purchased plastic gunias and folded them into small parcels the size of a notebook. Then they put them in their pockets as they went to see Moi. To Moi's shock, these politicians would remove a gunia from one pocket, unfold it, and empty the safe. Then they would move to the next pocket and do the same thing. And because Moi was a man of his word, he allowed them to carry out the sacks of money. They defied the Mark Tour genius. Moi lost his laughter as he watched his equals in the game of money.
Dear Ruto, happy birthday to you, sir. We gave you the Mark Tour Award because next year we have a few more names like Kasongo to call you. But do not be like Mzee Moi, who lost his joy because he was outwitted by Kikuyus. Kangumusa. The next award at Fort Hall is the Justa Kiyoko Award. It is named after a lucky maize roaster in Machakos called Kiyoko. And the award goes to Abraham Kithure Kindiki. One day, Mzee Moi was driving to Machakos to build gabions. On his way, he decided to stop by the roadside to buy some roasted maize. As his presidential motorcade approached, the man roasting the maize froze in total shock, not knowing what was going on. He ran away and jumped into a river. When his friends rescued him, they told him not to worry. It was Nyayo, not an enemy. The shaking wet man got back to his maize station and found Nyayo standing patiently. As the story goes, Nyayo bought maize for 50,000, JJ Kamotho for 20,000, Mulu Mutisia for 20,000, Charles Njonjo for 5,000. The life of the maize roaster was changed. Dear Kindiki, like this guy, you have been visited by the gods. Remember to give a generous offering this Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Now we turn to the Mulu Mutisia Award at Portal. And the award goes to Kalonzo Musyoka. You deserve this award because you were a student of Mulu Mutisia, but you are now a heroic failure. For those who do not know him, the late Mulu Mutisia was one of the consummate politicians under Mzee Moi. His only limitation was that he fell out of school in class 2. He was not literate. And so, one day Mzee Moi decided to take him to America on a state visit. After a busy day, Mzee Moi and Mutisia retired to their hotel. They had not eaten the whole day. And typical of presidential visits, the chef in the hotel prepared some tender lamb chops, mushroom sauce, roast potatoes with whipped cream, and some cream spinach. Mzee Moi was served happily in his presidential suite. However, each time the waitress got to Mulu Mutisia's room with the sumptuous meal, she knocked on the door. And because Mulu Mutisia did not speak English, he asked in Kikamba, "No, sio," or "Who is that?" And the waitress with the lamb chops heard, "No, sir." She left. Then she came back and knocked. And Mulu Mutisia replied, "No, sio." This happened several times until the waitress gave up. Mulu Mutisia slept hungry.
The following morning, Mulu Mutisia complained to Moi that he had slept hungry. Surprised by this, Mzee Moi told him that each time the waitress knocked on his door, Mulu Mutisia yelled, "No, sir," or "No, sio." She tried 5 times. Like Mulu Mutisia, Kalonzo will sleep hungry in 2027. And this is so because he is not particularly clever. Bure kabisa. The next award at Portal is the Moi-Kibaki Award. And the award goes to Kenyans. It is about kumbafulness. Kibaki used to call us kumbafu out of frustration. He borrowed this from Nyerere, who taught us the difference between stupidity and foolishness. A stupid or kumbafu person can be educated and changed. But being foolish is a condition. It is like being short or tall. It cannot be changed. A little education can change kumbafuness. That is why we will educate Kenyans using another Moi story on corruption. One Moi minister was known to write "not approved" on all tender documents. But he left a clever distance between the word "not" and "approved." Once he ate corruption, he added an "e" after the word "not" and a full colon. Then the tender document would read, "Not approved." Very clever. Dear Kenyans, like the story of Makto, politicians are clever species. You can't beat them. Merry Christmas.